Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my first weekly pregnancy update. So after reviewing my first trimester update, I realized that I really do want to be able to document this pregnancy more and have more to look back on. So I'm going to start doing a weekly update where at the end of each week I'm going to come on and I'm going to go over a few things. I'm basing this off of RachLovesLife on her channel. She did with her first pregnancy a weekly update, and I really liked how she did it, how she went over the same things every week. So I'm going to go over what my best moments this week are, what my worst moments this week were, any cravings that I am having, and a fun fact about the infant. And I'm also going to do measurements of approximately how big baby is. So for this week, my best moment this week, I'd have to say my best moment this week is getting the nursery completely cleared out. It is done and it is good to go. And my mom's gonna come over next week and we're gonna do a really good deep clean and clean the carpets and take all the windows out and clean in between the windowsills and everything. And so I'm just excited that that part's finally done. It was our secondary bedroom and kind of a storage room. So we had a lot of stuff in there and it took me about the last month to get everything sorted out. But now that it's done, I feel like I can breathe again, and I feel like I can go back to getting the rest of my house figured out, because I've sort of been taking stuff from there and putting it into different rooms. And we've also been getting rid of a lot of things. I think we did about 5 trips to Value Village. One trip where it was just boxes, like 2 big blue bins of stuffed animals, because I had so many stuffed animals. I still have a lot of stuffed animals for the baby, but we got rid of so much. So I'm so happy that that's done. Worst moment this week, I would have to say it's been the heat. It's been really warm in Calgary this summer, and I'm not a summer person to begin with. I like fall and winter, but it's just been so hot, and I just have been finding it really hard to deal with the heat. And so I think the heat for the last week has been what's making it the worst moments. Cravings. So I've been craving kind of carbs and comfort foods, really. I've been wanting lots of sandwiches and buns with soup, muffins. I've been craved shepherd's pie with all the mashed potatoes. It's just been a lot of carb-based stuff lately. Which is in a way good, because when I was in my first trimester, I had a basic food aversion to most everything, including a lot of carbs. I couldn't even look at sandwiches. I thought they were disgusting. So I mean, yay! I can eat them again. So fun fact, so what I found really interesting, and I found this in my pregnancy day-by-day book, is little one has increased its hand and foot coordination and now can reach down and grab their foot, which I think is fantastic. I just find that really cool, the fact that they can grab their foot. They can't bring it up to their mouth yet, but that's still pretty cool. And for measurements, our little Zeno is about 4 inches long and is about 2.5 ounces, so it's about the size of a navel orange. So that's pretty cool. So also what I'm going to be doing with these is kind of going over what I'm also doing to get ready for this pregnancy, for the baby and that. And so today I want to share with you my reading list I've put together, basically of all the books I want to read before baby comes to help prepare myself. So the first thing I want to mention is I have an early child care background. I went to school for it and have been working with children from about 10 months to 6 years of age for the last 7 years. When I first got in the field, I worked with children from about 10 to 18 months for the first 2 years. And I got a lot of resources. I collected a lot of resources dealing with infants at that point. And so I basically saved a bunch of it, knowing that I was going to want to use it when I had my own children. So I've gone and dug out all my old material and have now kind of created my own reading list. So to quickly go over, what I have. So of course, as I mentioned last time, I have the What to Expect When Expecting. It's what I am reading, and I read weekly, going through with my pregnancy. I also have my Pregnancy Day by Day, my Pregnancy Bible, which I read every single day. Then, moving from there, this book is a little older, but I love this book. It's such a great book. It's called Dear Parent, Caring for Infants with Respect. And so it goes over like what to do, what do infants need, and what do parents need, how parents can provide an environment in which both they and their infants thrive. Their motor skills and coping skills, your babies can learn best from his inner resources. The social and emotional and language skills, your baby can learn best with your help. The importance of talking and listening to your baby. And how does the Magda respectful educaring differ from other approaches? And I just love this book. And I started to read it. It's the first one I'm going through. And I'm going to do a review probably about a lot of these books once I've finished and read through them fully. So that's the first one. Then I have The Wonder Weeks, which my mother-in-law actually gave me a few months ago. And it goes through babies week by week from birth to I think like 2 years of age. And I've had a couple of friends who have used this and they absolutely loved it and swore right by it. So it basically lets you know ahead of time of when to expect when your baby's going to be fussy, because when are they going through growth spurts, because they've gone through and did studies on a ton of babies worldwide and figured out what the universal markers generally are. So I look forward to going through that book. I then also have 2 books that I am listening to on Audible, or that I've downloaded and will be listening to on Audible. The first one is on becoming baby wise. And it basically goes over how to properly feed your baby, whether you are breastfeeding or bottle feeding. And I love the fact that it goes over both, because I find most books do one or the other. So I thought that was really cool. And it talks about how to get your baby into a routine as fast as possible. So that's really cool. And a lot of other YouTube moms had suggested it, so I added it to the list. And then the other book I have downloaded and will be listening to is Brain Rules for Baby and How to Raise a Smart and Happy Child from 0 to 5. And I added this to my list. I don't know too much about it. It seems to, from what I understand, go over a lot of developmental and what children need and require. But a lot of YouTube moms also highly suggested that one, so I've added it to my list as well. As well as I have one called Infant, Toddlers, and Caregivers, a curriculum of respectful and responsive care and education. So again, going back to my early childhood background, this one's directed more towards as an educator working with infants and toddlers, but at the same time there's a lot of really great information in here about treating children with respect, about going over just different developmental milestones and how to encourage their development in that I just think I would find really helpful to go over again. So I have that. Then I have this one, and this is back from when I went to college for my degree. So Developmental Profiles, Pre-Birth through 12. And so I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'm going to just go to the pregnancy and from birth to 12 months and just go over the developmental milestones and just refamiliarize myself with them. Then we get to kind of the fun ones. So this is called Baby Games and the Joyful Guide to Child's Play from Birth to 3 Years. And so I really love this book. I did a lot with this book when I worked with infants, and the cool thing about it is this book breaks it up by their age, and it does it by every 3 months. So the first is birth to 3 months, and then it's like 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, and so forth and so on. And it's just really cool because it gives you different activities that you can do and play with your baby, and it's just a lot of fun. So I got that one. And then I also have this one, which is the Encyclopedia of Infant and Toddler Activities from children from birth to 3. And so this one has a lot of activities in it, but instead of going by age, this one goes by category So you have like discovery time and dramatic play and fine and gross motor and finger songs, rhymes, and language and literacy and outdoor play, and there's math and science. And then in each category it breaks it up, and it has stuff for infants and toddlers, stuff for younger toddlers, and then older toddlers. And so some sections don't have all the age groups. Like for example, math. Math starts at young toddlers. There isn't anything for infants and toddlers, which makes sense because it's all developmental. But it's just a great resource. It has so many activities, and I just love these books. So, and then my last one is First Art Experience for Toddlers and Twos. And so I know this one's meant for a bit of older children, more for when they're toddlers. But I just like looking through it because it gives me ideas, and a lot of the activities are in here I can modify for little ones once they're moving around and doing more, probably around like 6 to 8 months. So that is my current reading list. If there are any books that you have read and that you thought are really helpful, please just comment below and let me know. I would love to add it to my reading list. And I just, I love reading, I love learning, and I'm just looking to take in as much information before our little Zeno comes. So let me show you the baby bump. Get on my tiptoes here. So here we are. And thank you for listening to my week 15 pregnancy review, and I'll talk to everyone next week.